stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, Josh.
Here.
Lori.
Here.
Greg.
Here.
Katie. Here. Myself, Tracy, here. Attorney Nathan.
Here.
Jamie.
Here.
Kelly.
Here.
Brian.
Here.
Also present is Chief Aid here from DPW, and Chief Ludwig is currently taking care of some fire department paperwork because he just got back from a call. Statement of public notice. I certify that a quorum is present and the agenda was properly noticed. Number 3, public comments. The public is encouraged to address the village board at this time regarding items on the agenda. The village is not authorized by the Wisconsin Open Meetings Law to discuss, comment, or take action at the meeting on any issue raised by public comment that is not part of tonight's agenda. Please fill out the sign-in sheet provided. Keep your comments limited to 2 minutes and state your name and address when starting your comments. We apologize, there is not a public comment sheet up, but if you would like to stand and give public comments, we can take your name and your address.
Jackie Turnbull, W235 M6720, Salem Court, Waukesha. I noticed on the agenda, there was discussion about nuisances. I don't know what it is, but as this nuisance issue is discussed, I hope each and every one of you take that into consideration when there might be a bigger nuisance within our community, specifically right across the street from my bedroom window.
Is there anyone else that wishes to speak? I will make a second call for public comments. Third and final call for public comments. We are closing public comments. Number 4, reports. I do not have anything to report this time, and we will move on to the fire department monthly report, which has been provided. Jamie?
The fire department has had 57 calls for the year so far, 6 EMS for April, 4 fire calls, and 1 motor vehicle accident. The fish fry was on April 3rd. The turnout was a little bit lower than expected. We served 213 meals. Don't know if Good Friday had anything to do with it, or it could have been the weather, but the fire department will be looking at next year's date as we've been working on that. Most of our EMTs have completed their refresher course. Everyone should be all updated by the end of June. Also planning for the rodeo on June 27th. Anyone willing to volunteer and help out with that? It's going to be a good time. The fire department is looking for sponsors at this time as we are continuing to raise money. We want to try to make this a real good year as well. Fire department is also on the agenda tonight. They're looking for new software programs that we're required to have to document all our inspections, fire and EMS reports, and teaching programs and scheduling. We'll go over that coming up on the agenda later on tonight. And we'll be participating in the library story hour coming up in later on this month. Also, EMS week is coming up later this month as well. And that's from Chief Ludwig.
Thank you, Jamie. Police department report. Chief?
For April, we had 6 911 cell hang-ups, 3 abandoned vehicles, 3 alarms, an animal complaint, 6 assist fire EMS calls, We assisted other departments 1 hour with Racine County Sheriff's Department and 4 hours and 16 minutes with Waukesha County Sheriff's Department. Issued 107 citations, 2 commercial vehicle stops, 8 debris in the road, 4 disabled vehicles, 3 disputes, 1 fraud, 11 incident reports, 2 juvenile problems, 1 OWI, parking complaint, 7 reckless drivings, 5 suspicious calls, 2 thefts, 1 traffic accident, 11 traffic controls, 3 cars in the ditch, vehicle lockout, 70 warnings, 3 well-being checks, and so far from January to the end of April, we've written 394 traffic citations, 29 non-traffic citations for a total of 423. We're continuing our participation in the state traffic grant program, and we'll have 6 deployments this month. The police motorcycle is now fully equipped, decaled, and ready to go. We're happy to say that no taxpayer money was used for this program. It's funded through donations and salvage vehicle inspection funds. Thanks to everybody who donated to this program, which goes along with the salvage vehicle inspection program is back up and going. As of today, we've completed 19 inspections since we started it back up in mid-April. Sergeant Schweitzer and Detective Kappmeyer put on their ATV safety class on the 17th and 18th of April. During this class, they certified their 128th recreational safety student. On April 25th, we participated in National Drug Take Back Day, which helps keep medications out of the wrong hands and our waterways. And we have a drop box here in the village hall year-round, so if anybody needs to dispose of any medications, they can drop them there at any time. We also wish to congratulate former Big Bend Chief Harder, as well as deserved retirement as the police chief. And we are nearing the end of the school year, but still looking for an afternoon school crossing guard, if you know anybody that'll be interested. And then from there on, we see Paul's note from the last month. Any comments, questions, concerns?
Thank you, Jamie. None. DPW, Eric.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Village work. Patch potholes throughout the village. Installed address signs on River Birch and Oak Ridge. Fixed no outlet sign on Parkview Drive. Cleaned up branches and some downed trees at Rural Home. Installed a new village hall sign. Installed a projector here in the boardroom. Finished spring brush pickup. Restored some damaged areas from plowing. Cut grass at Rural Home. And grass cutting and game prep at Cherry Street. Vehicle and equipment maintenance, just general PMs on all the equipment, and took the salters and blade plow off the truck for the season. And set up and take down of the fire department fish fry. And I'd like to back up to the things that Rural Home. During the storms a few weeks ago, several trees fell within the cemetery grounds. Although I was off that day, Justin sent me photos of the damage. On Thursday, we went to assess the situation in person. During our inspection, I observed that a large tree had fallen onto multiple headstones, including one belonging to Jane Simmons. Seeing this was especially difficult. I had previously connected with her husband, Scott. While assisting with the placement of her headstone, he shared the story of her sudden passing, spoke about their young daughter, who attends not Big Bend Elementary, but Christ Lutheran. My apologies. Each day as they passed the cemetery on their way from school, she says, "Hi, Mommy," remembering this made the situation all that more heartbreaking. Recognizing the size of the fallen tree, I contacted Lindwalker's Tree Service to assess and handle its removal, as it was beyond the capacity of our equipment. Later that Thursday, I received a call from Scott. I immediately understood why he was reaching out. He asked for permission to trim back the branches that had fallen on Jenny's headstone, as it was her birthday. He wanted to ensure the area was clear so that his family, especially his daughter, they could visit that day. Without hesitation, I told him no more needed to be said. We were on our way. Justin and I gathered a chainsaw, pole saw, headed to the cemetery, and upon arrival, Drake, the foreman from Lindwalkers, was already on site. After learning about Scott's request, Jake generously stepped in and handled the cutting himself, ensuring the area was safe and that there was no risk to the family during their visit. I would like to extend a sincere thank you to Drake for going above and beyond in helping in such a meaningful moment. Scott and his family, who were present at the time, expressed a deep appreciation for the efforts. It was truly our privilege to assist. And I invited Scott if you wanted to say a few words or not, but he's my guest tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. You good? Thank you for being here, Scott. Library report is in front of us. All year-to-date patron visits are at 4,114. Over 4,000 items circulated. Donations year-to-date is just over $100. Election Day bake sale was on the 7th in April. A success as always. Thank you for your generous patrons. The antique appraiser was here and offered research on tips and offered item appraisals. Easter Storytime featured crafts and egg hunt for kids and families. Book club and movie matinee sessions continue, keeping the members engaged. A new staff clerk joined in April while preparations begin for the summer reading program. The library did receive a $2,500 innovation grant to upgrade its website and enhance ADA accessibility. Their upcoming events for the summer reading program is June 6th, starts June 6th. They will be posting details on Facebook, newsletters, and the website. And the leadership transition. The library board has an extended offer which was accepted by Samantha Segrist to become the new library director on May 26th this year. Respectfully, Carla. Celebrations Commission report. They are sponsoring the Village Independence Day fireworks again this year, pending board's approval tonight. The date is set for Friday, July 3rd at dusk in the Village Park. Celebrations will also have the area sprayed for mosquitoes. Prior to the fireworks and again prior to the Rumble. Their next meeting date is the 28th of this month. Volunteers are still needed for the Rumble. Please check the volunteer tab on their website, www.bigbenpool.com. And the Rumble is slated for July 10th and 11th in July. Village Treasurer's Report, Katie.
Nothing out of the ordinary for this month. I just did want to note that I talked to the auditors today and they said we should have our 2025 audit completed by July.
Awesome. Can we get him on the agenda maybe in September to kind of go over everything?
Yeah, I talked to him about that.
Okay.
Even better. Perfect.
Thank you.
Nathan, professional services.
Thank you. I don't have anything new or no news is good news tonight.
Sounds good. Thank you, sir. Consideration of possible approval of minutes for March 19th for the joint public hearing.
I'll make a motion to dispense with the reading.
Second.
I have a motion made by Jamie and a second by Kelly. Is there any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Motion to approve the minutes as presented.
I'll second.
I have a motion made by Kelly and a second by Greg. Is there any other discussion? All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Consideration of minutes for April 2nd village board meeting.
Make a motion to dispense with reading.
I'll second it.
Motion made by Kelly, second by Josh. Is there any other discussion? All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. On the bottom of page 3, under 5, photos. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as written with the change on page 3.
I'll second it.
A motion made by myself and seconded by Greg. Is there any other discussion? All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Approval of bills, discussion, consideration, possible approval of accounts payable from Thursday, April 16th, 2026, in the amount of $86,564.78, and Thursday, March 7th, in the amount of $170,790.89, 170,790.89, for a total of $257,355.67. The reason why the amount is a little bit bigger for May 7th is because we had 3 weeks in between some of the pay periods, so that is why it increased a little bit. Number 7, closed session. Go into closed session per.
Tracy, would you make that?
Oh, I am so sorry.
Don't jump past it.
Hold on. I'll make a motion to approve the bills.
Second.
Motion made by Jamie, second by Corey. Is there any other discussion? All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 7, closed session. A, go into closed session per Wisconsin State Statute 19.851C, considering employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility, specifically discussing the addendum to the working agreement between the Village of Big Bend and the Chief of Police.
I'll make a motion to that effect.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. We'll take a roll call vote to go into closed session. Josh?
Yeah.
Corey?
Here.
Greg,
Yes.
Tracy, yes, Jamie,
Yes.
Kelly,
Yes.
Brian.
Yes.
We are now moving into closed session. We'll ask you to please step out of the room.
It's Yeah, just,
Or,
well, we gotta
oh, the technical.
shut the camera off.
What's the other time you did that?
2025 Kia Sportage.
And that
Oh,
one was.
yeah, it's only got 6,000 miles on it.
That one was total?
Doesn't need a key.
Got hit in the back.
What do you got? What's
So
this
I
like now?
gotta
What
replace
kind
it.
of car is it?
Kia Sportage, but
Kia
it's
Sportage.
25.
It's a 25. Got hit in the back end. Just pull up in mom's driveway and take a look at it.
So pretty much
That's
got
it.
a sandwich from the back, is accordion style?
Mhm.
Where do you get your parts?
We shop around. We shop around.
Cheapest.
Yeah, you do. I mean, I've got the only thing I can't do, I can't paint worth a darn. A buddy of mine does paints it and stuff. I can't. I can't.
That's good.
Getting stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We're resuming open session. Number 8A, discussion, consideration, possible action on regarding items discussed in closed session.
I'll make a motion to approve the working agreement addendum between the Village of Big Bend and the police chief.
Sorry.
A motion made by Jamie and a second by Brian. Is there any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Oh, you're fine.
9A, discussion, consideration, and possible action on TechJoy security camera and network assessment. During our personal and finance meeting, we went over the camera and assessment, and there are two options that are available for us right now. We did want to discuss with you in regards to possibly reaccounting for which cameras we want and will actually need and not. Because certain ones we won't need, obviously, and just do like a one-on-one and go through everything. Because obviously, we want to be a little frugal when it comes to that, but we also want to have quality cameras. So, two previous instances that have happened. And I don't know if you want to set up a time in the next week or so. I don't know, Jamie, would you want to walk with him and
Yeah.
Eric?
Yeah, we talked a little bit. I mean, if we want to approve something tonight, as you had mentioned in regards to getting, besides the camera stuff, there's other things, and I'll let you explain what you were talking about.
So network switches and the
Yeah,
APs?
yeah, exactly.
What's being used for the PoE injector? What needs that?
The cameras will need it.
One?
The cameras, the new cameras.
I get the new cameras, they'll connect via PoE,
Yep.
but what's the injector for? There's one injector on the list of hardware. So there's two switches related to the network stuff? So the two
Well,
network
I
switches
think
that are
we-
24 port,
One of the injectors is probably for DPW or someone
somewhere
else.
that you need
We're
a
working
power
towards a
source,
full-
so you couldn't get a,
A full-blown switch.
Okay.
correct, yeah.
okay. That's, I was just curious, if we're putting in 15 brand new cameras, why aren't they leveraging all PoE is my question. So-
Yeah.
But that makes sense if it's a distance where cabling isn't sufficient, so,
Up to par.
okay.
So financing for this would come right out of our capital equipment fund. We currently have approximately 65,000 available.
76,946.96.
Thank you very much, Madam Treasurer. So, the cameras need to be upgraded. A lot of the problem is that the cameras are the cameras are really old. Two, the system is really, really old. We still don't know to this date who still has access to the camera system. So, Jamie has access. Eric is supposed to have access, but he can't get into the system. So, yeah, we've talked about it, and we feel that it would be important for us to look at the camera system, upgrade. Cameras that are in there are 13 years old. They were put in about 2013, 2014, somewhere at that time. That was one of Don's first big projects, was to get video cameras here. So it's time. The technology that's out there now in regards to cameras is a lot better than what we have right now. I think one of the things too we should be looking at too is making sure we've got something that can do good license plate reading in the village park, for when we have incidents that need investigation. And we've had a few throughout the years, and the camera system has helped, but sometimes we have hard times reading license plates on cars. So, but what we would like to do is to get this approved, but at least we need to do a full walkthrough though, and look at exactly everything we need, because I know he wants to get going on some of the other stuff that we do need, but the camera stuff we're gonna walk through and probably lower the price of what we're looking at.
So we're thinking, right now they're quoted 15 cameras,
Correct. We
but
think
the likelihood it's gonna be less.
it's gonna be less, right. We wanna take a look exactly.
I'll just say that the caveat is unless you walk through and you say you want a different
Model,
style
yeah,
camera.
that's what I was getting at with the
handheld
license plate
zoom.
reader and all that, like,
Yeah, handheld zoom camera,
Yeah.
you want a 180 degree camera.
yeah, that
Sure,
could change
infrared.
pricing the other way.
It could. These cameras in of itself are significantly, the ones included in here are significantly better than the system now.
Yeah.
But depending on the vantage points that you want to get, when you do a walkthrough, it could be a wash, it could be a little bit more, so.
I actually have the Uni system in there. So I
Yeah.
have a Dream and
Yeah, it
multiple
works.
cameras deployed through the Dream.
And you know the different
Yeah.
varieties they have, and $200 per camera is the low end,
Right.
and the high end's $1,800 camera. And there's a bunch of stuff in between,
Yep.
but,
Tracy wants all $1,800.
no,
She wants to see the wings on a fly.
Yes, that's why I'm frugal.
I'll make a motion to approve the TechJoy contract contingent on a complete walkthrough and assessment.
Sounds like that.
I have a motion made by Jamie with contingency and a second by Kelly. Is there any other discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
If next week, maybe the chief and I can get together and we'll talk with Eric as well in regards to that, and we can get together and do a walkthrough.
Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday next week, perhaps?
Yeah,
Wednesday doesn't work for me, but the other two days not fine.
Monday or Tuesday?
yeah, Monday or Tuesday.
Okay. We'll connect with you guys.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Have a good evening.
I was gonna say, if you let me know when it is, I might pop down.
Perfect, that would be wonderful.
Instead of
Not gonna argue with them.
Moving on to B, discussion, consideration, possible action on the Ayers client disclosure and client engagement letter.
So this engagement letter is to cover what we were looking at in regards to the TIF. And basically doing a review on the TIF in regards to our meeting that we are to be having on an annual basis. So it'll give a complete TIF analysis, levy forecasting in regards to the TIF, looking more or less what this is, a complete economic development financial analysis. There still is several years left on the TIF up in the area. So we are required by state statute to do a review as well as having a meeting. And which would probably be in September. Kelly, feel free to add it to this any point you want.
No, I think it was just re-engaging them, as Jamie was saying. So there's specific state statutes that say that you have, when you have an active TIF, you have to do certain things. And some of it's reporting, having this joint review board meeting, all that jazz. So basically, this is a contract leveraging Ehlers to help facilitate that on the village behalf.
And we haven't been doing that for a few years, which, you know, little things keep popping up for us of what we should be doing on an annual basis. This is no different. So we want to get this re-engaged and get the TIF in compliance with a review, so.
And just as a clarification, the TIF is around the 43 corridor, right? So it's the property, a lot of the parcels, acreage from behind the park and ride over to what would be Guthrie Road. In between there, and then northwest on the other corner, that's been elevated, Brinkman property?
Yes.
Yeah, it's the Brinkman one that you see the fireworks sign for sale, or the advertisement sign, kind of across the street from McDonald's. So that's essentially the active TIF right now. Goes a little bit south to, where the antique cupboard company is, as well as the parcel just south of that was just purchased by Idea Windows and has the proposal in front of us soon related to that CUP. So that is the TIF, that's all the property that's in the TIF. Jamie mentioned, I think we have about 8 years or so left on the TIF.
So
It cannot be extended, good point of clarification right now. Yeah, when it's 8 years, it's 8 years. There's already one extension done for 3 years, that has already occurred, so we don't have the option to extend it. Nor do we have the option of expanding, meaning adding a second TIF to our village. We are capped at one and one only. Just to clear the air on some facts.
Just wanted to point everybody to page 4 of the contract as you're going through this. It's a bit of an à la carte contract where they're gonna ask you to accept or deny some of the proposed scope of services that they have. For example, preparation of supplemental information for the joint review board, then joint review board meeting coordination and attendance, and then whether you want those for all of your active TIDs or for the only one. Since you only have one TID, I understand, right?
Yeah.
That is pretty much one and the same, but I would think, you know, knowing work that Ehlers does, and work with them on other TIDs and things, I have noticed that it's helpful if they help prepare those things, like get you ready for the JRB meeting and get the supplemental information and the coordination and the attendance. But of course, that's all up to you as to whether you want those à la carte things. So before you sign this, maybe you want to talk about, do we accept or decline first, second, third scope of service?
since it hasn't, since this hasn't been done for quite some time, this is just my 2 cents. The preparation of the supplemental information for the JRB, the meeting coordination and the meeting attendance, I think would behoove us, because I don't think, Katie doesn't know how to put a meeting together. I couldn't tell you how to put the JRB meeting together. And then having them there to be able to work through it at least at that point. At least then this first year, we can see how things go, and then for the following years, probably, once we get a flavor for everything, probably be able to, you know, downsize at that point.
Again, we're talking a total all-inclusive of $2,500. 15 for the JRB information, and then the 500 for the coordination and the meeting itself. So that's it, $2,500.
Is anybody here from Ehlers?
No,
Oh.
so Kelly and I had met with Ehlers in regards to this, so.
And again, we'll have some responsibilities if this gets approved to provide to them. There's a list on page 3, but it's kind of like all stapled together. maybe it's the second page 3, I guess, because it was 2 chunks of papers.
Correct.
So at the bottom there, you'll see what they would request of us. So we'd have to decide, I'm guessing. Katie will have to help collect some of this information that they're requesting.
Yeah, and I can help Katie with that too if it comes down to it.
I make a motion to approve the Ayers client disclosure and client engagement letter, approving the 1-year deal for all 3 scopes or services within the scope, preparation of supplemental information for JRB, JRB meeting coordination, and JRB meeting attendance
And for all active kids.
for all active tips, all 1 of them.
Second.
The motion made by Kelly and a second by Brian. Is there any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Just saying.
Sorry.
If you'd like to continue to spend the night with us, you sure can, but we don't
The
necessarily
tech,
need
the
to.
tech joy stuff, we're gonna have a meeting in regards to the cameras and stuff, Eric, so we'll include you on that so we can at least kind of look at everything and where we want placement, this, that, and the other. Downsize some cameras, you know, just kind of look at the overall layout of everything, so. We just wanted to hear for the tech joy stuff.
Okay.
So.
It'll be Monday or Tuesday, it sounds like. We'll figure out the date and time.
Yeah, just let me know.
Thank you, Eric.
All right, thank you.
C, discussion, consideration, and possible action on first due contract between the Big Bend Fire Department and First Due. During our finance and personnel meeting, we discussed this. It is the best option for them right now because they are using an older system. They need to get the fire inspections all inputted in this way. They could use a tablet on site instead of using the old pen and paper routine. As it states, it keeps track of the records, inventory, assets, CAD. CAD integration is gonna be huge for them. Pre-incident planning, responder implementation, configuration of services. It literally, as they stated earlier, was only $800 more than what they're already paying now. There is a first-time setup fee, which is just under $2,400. So the fact that we're getting better integrated new equipment that will, or new programming, sorry.
Essentially what the system's doing, because we currently have a program for our EMS report writing. We have a separate report writing system for fire reports. We have a CAD system that we use for dispatching, and that's called our IM responding. We have a separate program that we are using for education and training for our EMS and fire personnel, especially for the EMTs for their EMS renewals. We're also using, we need to upgrade in regards to the fire inspection aspect of things. So this would help integrate that. Everything is basically going from multiple programs under one roof. This will be a much better system, making things a lot easier within the department. Chief, you want to add anything into?
No, that sounds pretty good. It's just to integrate everything into one, and our reporting system will be a lot easier this way.
Our educational program right now that we're paying is about $3,200 per year. So all we want to do is try to get this approved to get the process going so we can start phasing everything out. We don't want to have to sign contracts because we have contracts that are
If I remember right, I am responding was a 3-year contract, and I think that was $660 a year, if I remember right.
740.
$740,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do we know anybody else using this, first school one?
Yeah, actually,
McGuanago.
McWanago's using it, Vernon's using it, New Berlin's using it now,
That's good. I just wanted to make sure we're not like
so.
jumping into something.
There was another
nobody touched.
there was another program out there. It was right around 14.8 for that program.
Yeah, we did, what do you want to call it,
Webinars with the
webinars with
companies
them,
and stuff.
and both of them look good, but then the prices came in, and everybody around us is using this program now, so.
You're concerned about training, like how much
No.
change it's gonna be?
It's not gonna be that bad of a change. We have someone on the department that's already using this and is gonna help implement everything to us, so. I
Yeah,
guess
there's
that-
a couple little glitches that they found in it, but they worked around it, and it's a new program, so they're working all that stuff out yet.
So with this will be able to communicate to the surrounding departments for ALS and everything. as
If we
well.
needed it to, it can. The
And
system,
dispatch.
it'll have all integrated dispatch into it, so our times, the reports, anything we have in regards to CAD, CAD notes or anything like that, all gets integrated into the reports, especially for the fire and EMS runs. For the reports, for the fire inspections and stuff, like I said, we'd be going from a paper system to finally a computer system, which we desperately need, so.
Where does this money come out of?
Basically, what we're doing is we're not gonna renew our stuff throughout the year that we have.
The
So,
existing contracts?
we're not renewing our existing contracts, we're letting them lapse, and so the money would come out of that, the additional 800 would come out of our education and communication funds.
Pretty easy.
So it's covering what we have right now is right around $7,000 per year for the programs that we're using. We're just incorporating everything under one roof and expanding it a little bit more, so.
But the additional 2,400 one-time startup is gonna be also under that?
Yeah,
on that bucket?
we've got grant, we've got grant money and fire inspection dues monies that we can use, that we have on hand, so we're not looking to increase anything. We'll be able to cover that.
I'll make a motion then to approve the first due contract between, First Due and Big Bend Police, or Fire Department.
A second.
Motion made by Greg and seconded by Kelly. Is there any other discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
I'll abstain.
Jamie abstains. Motion carries. Discussion, consideration, possible action on the emergency communication system estimate for the siren repair.
So, they had contacted us, Emergency Communications had contacted us a while ago, and they are the ones who installed the new, more or less, dispatch system to set off the siren. Sorry, Greg. That magic button is sitting in my house right next to
Oh,
the
we're all
couch.
aware. Trigger happy with that thing. Like, Jamie, get your foot,
Don't worry
get your
about that.
finger off the button. It was hilarious.
So they came in and, to do some work, just go do some work on it, and ended up finding out that the electrics, basically going from the building where our box is, all the way up the pole and up to the top, are just, they need to be replaced. There was some work done, Jamie was here for that.
Yeah, they were showing me some of the wires up towards the top there were not like outdoor rated, so like the insulation was coming off the wires, so you had bare wires out there, and
There are
somebody
pictures
had,
of the pages left.
didn't put one of the covers back on, so they slapped some like R on there.
Do we know how old that wiring is?
It was put up there back in the 1990s when it was moved from, when Siren was originally moved from Putnam and Orchard over by on the other side of the street from Ritchie, or not Putnam and Milwaukee, where it was just on the other side of the street from there, and then moved over here and then put up. So the wiring that's up there has been out there in the weather for at least 30 years. So,
I'm sure it's pretty brilliant.
yeah, it's pretty brittle. So we would like to get them in here to do the work on it. We've had quotes for a new siren, which would be right around $21,000. We're not looking to do that. The old girl works just fine.
It's famous.
It is famous. It is a famous siren.
It's 31,000. For the new siren,
Oh.
it's 31.
Oh, I'm sorry,
It's
31.
got following.
Okay, difference.
So for, for only 10% of that 31,000, we thought putting that little extra money into the siren. I mean, we had a heavy use in April.
Trigger happy.
So, we want to make sure that the siren is working appropriately, so. I'll make a motion to approve the contract for our emergency communication systems to do the maintenance on the siren.
I'll second it.
Motion made by Jamie and a second by Josh.
Should that come out of cap?
Yeah, that'll come out of cap.
Sorry, I'm just writing it out. Motion made by Jamie, second by Josh. Is there any other discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. E, discussion, consideration, possible action on a final draft of the Jumbotron use agreement. Attorney Schober had gone over this as well as Katie, and I believe Nate has also looked into it.
John Schober, or not John Schober, Mike Schober has also been working on this.
Schober and Schober, correct. And then Nate had gotten a copy of it sent over, or we sent a copy over to the rentee. And because it was based on us finally getting the agreement in our hands and just going over it, during finance and personnel, everything looked good. The information was provided by Warren for make, model, etc., which is custom, so there's really no serial number besides number 1. And they are ready to proceed with renting it from us as long as we approve it tonight.
We had talked about this last month, so.
Do we have is there a rental, a cost that we come up with, or is the celebrations kind of determining that?
It's based on the leasee or leaser, because of their situation where I think they're like a sponsor, so it's not like a
So, I
trade
mean, it's-
services, but there's some
it's-
pricing negotiation that happens each
Yeah,
time,
so
Yes.
it's by
Via them.
leasing.
case by case.
Yeah, okay.
And I assume they're gonna do a condition assessment before and after, like before going and return?
I talked to Eric about that too.
Insurance is already taken care of and everything else.
My big thing, if you remember last month, was the insurance aspect of everything, to make sure that the cost of the was covered.
So they consented to make proposed edits already? So they're okay, so this is basically
This
feedback
one?
on this.
Jumbotron.
Because I have.
No, you got the fireworks agreement.
Oh,
in front of
okay,
you.
the wrong one, okay, my bad.
Is Warren gonna have to set this up every time?
What's that?
Is Warren gonna have to set this up for him every time, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna have to deliver it, or no?
Yes.
Yes, Eric will deliver it.
Yeah,
And
and
so-
those costs are included.
Okay.
The cost on the rental agreement that we have here that was filled out is $4,000.
That'll help a lot,
Yes.
just sitting there, right?
I'll make a motion to approve the final draft for the Jumbotron use agreement.
I'll second.
Motion made by myself and a second by Greg. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Side note, on the Jumbotron, they are going to be renting it from us the 10th of June until the 20th of July. But they are getting it back for,
I was gonna say Rumble?
that's,
And also for the
For the rodeo, I
For the
hope.
rodeo, I would, yeah. I would hope.
I believe because we're getting it back, and then from what I was told.
Okay.
think it's multiple runs.
Within that time
Because it's
period.
like for a weekend or
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
3
Yeah.
days?
Aren't they
Okay.
using it for
That would
the
make
World
sense.
Cup or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
So it's not like they're actually gonna sit on, have it for that whole long period of
Right.
time, okay.
Here. Discussion, consideration, possible action on Five Star Fireworks Company agreement for the fireworks show at the Big Bend Village Park on July 3rd. Yes.
So we passed the edits along to Five Star?
So I did talk to Attorney Schober about this, he reviewed it, and he added the, notes on there. I made a Word document of it. He added those suggestions, they have to go back to the firework company. And he, Schober also recommended that, if we approve, we would approve the agreement for the fireworks show by which any suggested changes be made, subject to final approval by the village attorney prior to being signed.
Makes sense, but basically, if they don't agree to all these terms and they wanna add something else, we need another approval.
Yep.
That's staff level from the attorney.
So we'll be presenting this back to them with Mike's edits and additions, and then if they send something back that is nothing more than basically, it's not substantive, it's just, non-substantive, we can bring that, but if there's anything substantive, we bring it back to the board,
So it is very similar to the one that we signed the year prior, and that's when he changed a bunch of stuff in it then too.
These are pretty straightforward, it
Yeah.
looks like a.
And Tim's been pretty good to work with,
Correct.
Tim from
Yep.
Five Star. He's actually who I get my photos from.
I'd like to see us in the future, I mean, adds a little bit more to this. I mean, we are getting around $20,000 a year in firework permit fees. It would be nice for us to maybe kick in like $3,000 or
Because the
whatever.
celebrations is paying for the whole thing right now, as of right now.
But it would be nice if we, looked at this and say, all right, we're gonna kick in a little.
Yeah,
into
it wouldn't
this.
hurt.
No, that wouldn't hurt one bit. Whether we do it this year or we do it next year, I think it's something that we should be considering.
You know me, I'm not gonna complain about a bigger budget. So,
I mean,
So we can just make a motion to approve this with the changes made by Attorney Schober that he has on here.
And if they reject it and send it back with more.
that's what we're trying to do.
So it'd be subject to, or suggested changes being made, subject to final approval by the village attorney prior to being signed.
Yeah, what she said.
Because that way, if it's something non-substantive, it's just a minor language change, then you don't have to bring it back. But if it was anything substantive, it would change the price, you don't have to, obviously.
I think that's a real good justification of it.
I'll make that motion, Tracy, with Katie's verbiage on there.
Suggested changes?
Yes.
I'm gonna second it contingent upon one thing. Since it is the 250th this year, I'd like to add $3,000 out of our permit fees that we get towards this.
So we're actually gonna beef it up a little bit?
Go with Jamie's.
Or we're gonna give that to the celebration, or we're gonna beef it up?
We're
We're
gonna
beefing
take
it up.
$3,000
So
off
it-
the
so it-
permits and
so-
make it a $15,000.
So it'll be
show.
15,000.
It'd be a
I
$15,000
think that's a
show.
great idea.
250th is kind of a good year to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Okay, I have the motion made by Greg with the suggested changes by Sherman. And then Jamie adding on the extra $3,000 going towards the firework fees. Is there any other discussion?
Greg, you okay with that? 'Cause
I
you-
am okay with that.
Okay, I was just.
Your eyes are gleaming, so. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Discussion, consideration, possible action on resolution 2025-04, a resolution establishing the Village of Big Bend / Village of Waukesha joint municipal court operating costs.
So this would only affect the Village of Big Bend for citations. The current fee structure is at $38. This would increase to help cover our court costs by $10 per citation.
And that's all part of the track system, correct?
Correct. The chief says he has no problem taking care of it. He says it'll take him about 5 minutes.
Fax is very easy to work with, well, the staff there, so if you have any questions, they're very helpful.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2025-04.
Based on that, we are looking potentially about $7,500 more in revenue to help cover court costs for this year by approving this now.
Motion made by Josh, sorry, seconded by Cory. Is there any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. H, discussion, consideration, possible action on ordinance 2026-03, an ordinance repealing and recreating chapter 11 of the municipal code of the Village of Big Bend relating to public nuisances.
Attorney Shover, myself, and Clerk Treasurer Keady have been working on this diligently over the past couple of months. Again, to add into this project started last year back in April, so we're pretty much a year into this project now. Chapter 11 is our public nuisances. The big things that we looked at and in regards to going through is Attorney Shover updated some language and some of the stuff. If you look at 11.03, that was, 11.03 was established back in the 1970s to deal with Dutch elm disease that was raging through the Village of Big Bend. Since then, we've had a few other raging tree diseases rage through the village, so that has been relabeled to basically address any tree disease or dead tree control. So we eliminated the Dutch elm and relabeled and reworded a lot of stuff in regards to the progression of dealing with dead trees basically due to disease. So it's more of a general thing for any type of tree that ends up with a disease or something like that. We just went through, the bug that just came through.
The ash borer?
Yeah, the ash borer. So we still have, dead trees, dead ash trees all over the place and stuff in regards to that, so. So this also too, it took a lot of the stuff, sorry Madam President, took a lot of stuff out of the village president's hands and put it into the public director's hands for reporting in regards to that. I don't think Tracy wants to be the one going through the village going, we gotta look at this tree, we gotta look at that tree, so.
Our lead person is here.
Yes, our lead person is here. Further down the line, we got into abatement of those nuisances and stuff, where it shall be the duty of the chief of police, fire chief, building inspector, to enforce a lot of this stuff as well. And the procedure in regards to cost to the abatement and stuff like that. The dumping of illegal dumping throughout the village, we updated that, dealing with dumping, garbage, yard waste, and refuse. Some of the other stuff that needed to be updated was in regards to hazardous waste management. We addressed the things in there that needed to be updated to today's standards, since that was back from the 1990s that this originally was entered in. Katie did go through the past 25 years of updates to Chapter 11, and there wasn't that much. So, but everything has been reviewed by Attorney Shover in that respect. Let's see here, property maintenance was also updated, so blighted or deteriorating property has been cleaned up as well. Dealing with garbage, exterior of premises, litter, occupancy, and nuisances of buildings. So that was also included into that, dealing with, again, more refuse and rubbish type things. Litter control was also updated to kind of reflect what's been going on. That was actually updated back in 2010, but was never incorporated into the ordinance. So it is now. Jamie, our chief of police will love this one. We updated the animal excrement, allowing for discharge and poop scoops within certain areas. We did do some updating of that because there was an ordinance, update to the ordinance passed back in regards to stuff in the park. Basically, hey, your dog poos, take care of it, please. If not, you'll end up getting a citation. And then refuse and recycling collection charges. That was also put out in regards to, hey, we bill for, we put it on our tax bills, so we made sure the language for refuse and recycling, it was just refuse, but we do recycling, so that needed to be updated as well. Chapter 1110 in regards to vegetation, to make sure that properties in regards to their landscaping is not interfering with any type of traffic problems, creating any type of nuisances around intersections or anything that may adversely affect a property or sidewalks and things of that nature. So in regards to ordinance or recreating of chapter 11, it brings it up to date like we've been doing with the past several ordinances with where we're at right now. So everyone should have received a copy a few weeks ago in regards to that as well. Thank you, Katie.
It'll be uploaded to our website tomorrow if approved.
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance 2026-03.
Motion made by Josh, second by Corey. Is there any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Discussion, consideration, possible action on resolution 2026-05, a resolution establishing fines and forfeitures for the Big Bend Police Department.
So this is basically parallel for chapter 11. In chapter 11, basically all we had in there was 3 things that we had citations for. We didn't have everything that was laid out within chapter 11. One of the big things that really is going to come to notice for you guys would be under 11.07, and that's hazardous waste. The bond amount for the hazardous waste violation is $5,000. Reason behind that, when something happens where the fire department has to call in a Class A, City of Milwaukee or something like that, there is quite the fee in regards to some of that stuff. We just don't get all that stuff for free. We're currently contracted with the City of Waukesha for level B, but the only level A fire department to be able to handle any type of level A hazardous is City of Milwaukee. So they are more or less on everybody's list throughout southeastern Wisconsin.
So it costs us money to call in that.
Correct.
What is the A versus a B, just high level?
What happened at Corral, and we found the mercury there, that was Class B. We were able to handle that. Now, something a little bit more hazardous where it can affect a community at a larger scale, we would end up bringing them in, correct? Where they've got the better, they've got more of the better, the full-fledged hazmat suits where they would, and plus helping with disposal or removal too, and that to a point.
So previously, we didn't have a fine related to it?
We had nothing for that. Correct. So we added as we went through the chapter 11, we went through and ended up updating everything that is in there. Everything that you see in yellow is what has been reincorporated.
So that's the new stuff.
Correct, that's all the new stuff. If you look on the bottom where it says fees, 11.07 sub 4, permit for hazardous waste management. We put a fee on there of $1,000 because of the work that would need to go into something like that to help cover our costs. Because not only are we involved, but the DNR is involved in regards to any potential, let's say, something hazardous where they're gonna be on site for something. So it's something that we've looked at and talked with other communities and about and looked at other communities. So that's something, Katie, that you would have to add into the permit schedule. So, but it would reflect for 11.07. The nice thing for the police department, there's only 10 things to add in.
I appreciate it.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2026-05.
I'll second it.
I have a motion made by myself and, excuse me, and a second by Josh. Is there any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Discussion, consideration of Big Bend Village Ordinance, Chapter 1, Village Government.
There was nothing we could do because I don't have that. So in regards to this would be the next project in regards to the next chapters. Chapter 5 is currently being worked on. That is the fire code for the village. Fire department is currently working on that one to get that one updated, but thought we would bring chapter 1 to the village in regards to committees, commissions, things of that nature. One of the things that was discussed and we had looked at was actually consolidating a couple of our committees in respect to kind of downsizing, because we really don't need as many committees as we have. The village has done this in the past. Years ago, we had 6 committees covering finance, personnel finance, buildings, parks, health and sanitation, ordinance, and public safety, and those were combined into the 2. What we're looking to do and would be to consolidate, looking at public safety and public works together as one, reorganizing that, looking at other committees and stuff and kind of reorganizing and consolidating as well to kind of make things a little bit easier for everybody in regards to for committees and commissions. So we'd like to kind of put a proposal together, but before doing that, kind of thoughts from the village board. We're not looking to get anything approved tonight, but just kind of collect thoughts in regards to what the village board thinks about that before we start actually working on it, and then try to present something to you, but to get the village board's input before we start working on that.
Because digging into chapter 1 under Public Safety Commission, it says, you know, police and fire chiefs, court clerk, 2 trustees, 3 residents, will work with the police and fire departments, municipal court, public works to develop and forward to the village board recommendations for health, safety, welfare of the village. Commission shall make recommendations to the board for roadways, street, municipal grounds, parks, health, sanitation, garbage collection, sidewalks, traffic lights, public buildings, ground safety matters for unloading sites at the schools, school crossing guards, speed limits, prepare the village ordinances, which we've been working on, and building electrical, basically it also ropes in planning commission, like zoning codes and stuff like that, so, and it's intermixing because we will have to table something at public safety to partner with Eric from DPW because we need his input on it, which has happened frequently. And like the cemetery committee, they have trustees, plot owners, residents. They also need Eric there sometimes. And then they have to table it till, so they can have the next meeting, which normally they only have a few meetings a year, and then they were having more and more and more because, you know, try to get Eric to come in for the meeting, and if it didn't work out, then they have to postpone and have another meeting.
Then we're even thinking about eliminating that.
We're just looking to merge.
We're looking to merge everything, make it like a committee of the whole, to, you know, to.
For a couple of those areas, like safety.
Right,
Public safety, like, public works and cemetery, because DPW is a part of all three.
Right, yeah, that makes sense. So what we're looking at is essentially
downsizing.
downsizing the quantity of committees. People will shuffle around just to accommodate.
Correct.
It might be a bigger committee, so
Correct.
but it spreads across 3 areas as opposed to, or it'll be 1 versus 3. And then we'll have to update chapter 1 to reflect any changes.
Yes.
That's why these are kind of tied to each other.
Correct. But before we move ahead, getting the trustees and input
makes sense.
is important.
I know there's other things in chapter 1 that we've discovered over the last so many, let's say, months or a year, that also it's an opportunity to
Correct.
to revisit and not duplicate things that are covered at the state level,
Correct.
for example. So that could all be part of that same conversation.
Yes.
Because it's very repetitive in chapter 1 ordinance.
Mm-hmm.
So then would you just put plot owners on whatever the combined committee?
Yeah, something that we can end up coming up with.
When we do this, would that mean that we could also, some of the stuff that we do at the planning commission, I think could be done at the staff level, and I think that we're wasting a lot of people's time and energy on stuff that could be done at a staff level.
But there is, you know, but you know as well as I do, Greg, there is stuff that we have to address.
Well, I understand.
At the commission level.
I understand, but there are a few of the small things that we've been
Sure.
doing that could possibly go.
I mean, one of the things,
Yeah.
you know, one of the things that, you know, we're looking at is making sure that all the terms are, you know, terms of, you know, how long you serve on a committee is correct, and the language is correct in there, and we're, you know, making sure that that's all up to date on everything. We're looking at, in a roundabout way, simplifying things to make life easier for everybody. Is, oh, I gotta go to this meeting, oh, I gotta go to that meeting, oh, I gotta do this, you know.
Public safety, public works, cemetery.
You know, so we're,
Currently in chapter 1, there's nothing for planning commission, by the
No.
way.
but chapter.
As far as
But the- if
that
you-
chapter, there's nothing in that chapter saying the planning commission does X, Y, and Z. That's
Right.
not even there.
But chapter 14 under the zoning code is where you're gonna find the plan commission. So as long as the board, I'm just looking for a consensus, not a motion. If the board is okay, we'll move forward and get a proposal to everybody to review. We can have it on an agenda or two in the future, to at least go over and see, or if anyone has any comments, questions and stuff, and I can work with Nate as well as Katie and making sure we get this one.
If we do this, does that mean that our president's gonna be,
The dog catcher? Absolutely.
she's gonna have to redo all the committees and reappoint?
Correct. And
There will be a little-
It would be starting fresh for terms then as well, so.
Correct. The way it would
But
fall.
right now, I don't think terms even matter hardly.
It's sporadic, like some
It's
are
very
1 year,
sporadic.
some are 3.
A lot of them are 1 years, a lot are 1 year. Board of Appeals is 3.
But I think chapter 1 calls out 3
Mhm.
in some scenarios, and we're only doing 1 year.
So we'd be starting all that.
It would just be truing it up to make sure it's consistent across, right?
Again, this falls back to what we've been working on over the past year, is getting everything updated to today's standards and making sure that stuff that is on the books is getting followed the way it should.
Yeah, I think that makes a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, I agree.
Because
That's in chapter 1, right?
Yeah.
most of us all have jobs still, so then this way we can accommodate accordingly for everybody, because it is quite a busy month with everything we are involved in, so.
Do we know the timing for chapter 5 completion?
Chapter 5, hopefully it'll be completed either June or July.
So then this is gonna run parallel or start?
Yeah,
after?
it's gonna run parallel.
Okay.
And I also started looking up other villages
Yeah.
throughout the state to see who else merged and consolidated. And I finally got a couple emails, so I'm gonna shoot them out an email this week, just to touch base and see how effective it has been since the implementation.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, Nate, I'll ask for your 2 cents on something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense to find, you know, efficiencies in the process, and if it's not working for you, you know, especially in a smaller community where you only have so many potential candidates who are willing to serve on these commissions and boards. I do think for some of the longer ones, like Board of Appeals, keeping those maybe 3 years, just as a stable thing, makes sense. And then some of the standing committees that are listed in 1.02, which is village boards, village board committees and commissions, like the finance and personnel, public safety, public works. You know, those aren't the worst to have every year because, you know, especially because you've got potential turnover with elections and things like that, and then you kind of reshuffle the deck after the election, and that's fine. But yeah, I mean, I think it makes sense to, if you've got a lot of overlap, you know, sometimes you go to these meetings and you go to a finance and personnel committee and you go, are we supposed to be doing this, or are we stepping on the toes of the other committee over there or that you find out they were working on something and it gets territorial and it gets weird. And, you know, I just think this is a really good idea, in big picture stuff. And if you find that you can do it better, you can serve the public better, you can do a better job, and, you know, you have clear lanes, and I just think it's a really good idea.
And there's language in there that needs to be updated and cleaned up as well, so. Okay, that's all we needed. Thank you.
moving on to K.
That was kind of.
Or we're gonna basically table.
I think for the committees and commissions, I would make a motion to defer until chapter 1 is complete, however, to keep everything the same until it is.
Since we're done with this, correct, right now? Or are we making a motion?
We're gonna make a motion in regards to the committees and commissions, just to keep everything the same until we're done with chapter 1.
So you only made a motion to defer? Is that what you said?
Yes.
I'll second.
We have a motion made by Jeannie and a second with a deferment.
Yeah. Okay.
And Kelly, is there any other discussion? Correct. Did you
No,
have
something
questions?
else.
Okay.
No, something else.
If anyone going forward has any desire to be on the consolidated, please let me know, because then that way we can start trying to get a list together. I started doing one earlier today, just out of thought of people merging from all the different committees, just in case we did discuss it tonight.
I did also post on our webpage, under the latest news, the form to fill out if anybody from the public would be interested in volunteering for the village committees and commissions as well.
So motion is second. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next meeting date will be Thursday, June 4th at 7 p.m.
One quick thing here. Kelly's not sure about this probably, but are we gonna do something with this Breck thing as far as having a spokesperson so this people aren't calling everybody here?
Sounds like I was nominated.
It sounds like you were, but did you accept that?
Sure.
I think
Okay.
you're the best candidate.
Yeah.
I think it's, you just take this nonstop calling.
So I did to speak to the lady from Spectrum tomorrow,
Good.
Spectrum News, to get her list of questions.
Thanks for doing that.
Absolutely.
Have fun. It'll be fine.
Kudos to Kelly.
It'll be fine.
All right, make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion made by Josh, second by Brian. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
I know, that's what I said.
He,